Have you ever found yourself just wanting the client, the listing, the buyer so badly you could feel yourself forcing it in the conversation? And the harder you hung on to the conversation, the worse the result, the less natural you felt, and usually the less effective you were in the conversation. And that's what you became. In today's video, we're talking about that desperation creates pressure. And that is the truth. Preparation creates confidence, and the best agents can appear relaxed because they've already completed the repetitions. My name is Alex Acuff. Welcome to College Town Agent. I'm a college town agent myself. I hope you are too. What I've realized is that I've been in the business 12 years and I know college town real estate. And I know college town agents. I hire interns all the time and I hire pretty young agents pretty regularly. And what I've realized is that there's a lot of agents in college towns, and we feel a lot of the same pressures. So I wanted you to know that this is not a typical like Tom Ferry or whatever coaching. They have awesome coaching, no doubt, but this is more of like just me speaking honestly to you. I record a lot of YouTube videos. I play some guitar, obviously, and this is today's video. But about it, because I've had the opportunity to be a brand new agent, moving to a college town that I didn't actually go to school at. And, I've also been able to develop a team that is absolutely crushing it, and the number one team in our market. So, buyers and sellers can feel when an agent desperately needs the transaction. I mean, I listen to calls all the time from new agents, and you can hear the desperation. And I love prospecting with agents because I literally have this, it's going to sound bad, but I have this kind of, I don't give a shit mentality of not to like disrespect a client or a customer, but to speak freely from a point of like, I can't control the outcome, and I'm going to do everything I can to be present in this conversation, to hear you out and to listen to you and see if it's a good fit. And if it's not, that's okay. I come from a mindset of abundance, and we're not going to go through this whole like gambit. And I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. I'm going to ask for referrals. I'm going to ask for who you know. I'm going to ask everything you can think of in a conversation, but it's going to be coming from this place of abundance. So it's incredible to see, and I get it. A lot of people are desperate for transactions, but when you're doing the work and doing the repetitions of prospecting and finding new business, is that the more reps you can get in, number one, you're going to feel real comfortable. But number two is like, how are you breathing? How are you sounding? Are you just too over the top to fill the void, to fill the space? Are you gripping to the outcome so tightly that it creates pressure and over talking, and you're not listening, and now you have weak decisions to make? And that's what every agent honestly experiences when they first get into this business. So if you're a new agent and you're just getting your real estate license, those are the things that you're probably going to incur when you're starting this business. And I'm not saying like you need to detach from the outcome, but you need to detach from the outcome. And detachment doesn't just mean indifference. It means remaining committed to the activity without emotionally depending on one result. Like when I first got out of college, I was so fortunate. I did outside sales, and they did incredible sales training. And they always taught us this thing called the SW3. Some will, some won't, so what? And it's a mindset. And some people will work with you. Some absolutely won't. So what? So what are you going to do? Are you going to go to the next one, or are you going to like curl up in a corner and cry about it? Like, the world does not care about how you react to that. You're the one that cares about it. And you've got to be able to pick yourself up quickly and learn how to do that. Like, that's a learned, some people call it having thick skin, but these are like you can learn sales, and this is a learnable trait. Some people think they're just this golden retriever of an agent, and they're like, they love everything. And sometimes there's this bulldog that's just like, I don't care what they say. We're going to continue moving forward. I'm going to do the activity. Like, you can learn to be a golden retriever and still be aggressive, be what we call respectfully persistent in the ball game of real estate. So experienced agents, they sound natural because they have practiced scripts, handled objections, has studied contracts, and had thousands of conversations. That is it. If you want to sound natural, do the work. You have to put in the work so you actually have something that you can show to yourself. Some people call fake it till you make it, but I think you need to do enough homework and do enough reps to say to yourself, I've done the work, I've done the preparation, I've handled the conversations, I've handled the objections 1,000 times, I've memorized them over and over again, 5 different ways to Sunday. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this. And I will say, like, sometimes you do have to fake it till you make it, especially when you get in first, because like you're not going to know every script perfectly. You're not going to know how to handle every objection. You're going to freak out. You're going to freeze. That's okay. But how long can you stay in the box? How long can you stay curious in a conversation? And that's why, like, if I sit down with a new agent, first thing I tell them is like, hey, look, you're going to hear me make these calls, and I don't want you to compare my chapter 20 to your chapter 1. Like, don't do it. What I want you to do is sit back and relax and listen to the conversation. Let's smile. Let's have fun with this. Let's bring some energy to the conversation, because like my mindset whenever I make a call is, how can I bring positivity to the person I'm talking to on the other side of the phone? You just never know. Like, I've talked to enough people to know that sometimes you'll get on a phone and you can hear that maybe they just got fired. Maybe their boyfriend just broke up with them. Maybe their kid pissed them off. And sometimes they just want to talk. Like, bring the positive energy. I cannot tell you, it'll pay dividends in the future. Like, sometimes you have conversations with clients and people that have nothing to do with producing income in your pocket in the next 60, 90 days, period. Like, people that tell you like, oh, you need to ask everyone. Like, of course you need to ask them questions, but like at the end of the day, you're a human being. And, being in a college town is pretty easy. Like, all you have to do is talk about the college team that's there, wherever you're at, and you probably have a pretty good conversation. Sometimes it's a bad conversation. If they suck, their coaches get fired, whatnot. Sometimes I talk about that. But flow is earned through repetition. Like, the consistency in the work, the receipts that you can bring and say, I've done the work. Like, I love seeing successful people on social media, and I look at their comments and I see a lot of the haters, and they call them liars, cheaters, or they're fake or whatever. And then I go look at their profile and I realize that, they also did about 1,600 shots or videos of content that had like no views. And then all of a sudden the algorithm, the world worked for them. And I'm like, duh, they put in the work. They weren't perfect. They just put in the work, whether they felt it or not. The flow is earned through the repetition. That's why I'm doing these videos and talking to you, because I'm sure they'll get better as we go on. And I hope we get in a conversation one day in the Discord. That's a little shot there. I'd love to see you in the Discord. And you cannot skip preparation and call it intuition. This is the part that absolutely drives me crazy. Agents that get in the business and they're like, dude, I don't need a script. I don't need to learn these things. You're not scripted. Well, yeah, the hell I am. I'm scripted as hell. Everything I say to people is so scripted. I've said it 1,000 times. Go on a listing appointment with me. I'm like a robot. And they're like, well, you sound so natural. I'm like, you know why? Because I put in the reps. I've practiced it. I've recorded it. I've heard it back. I hear the ums and the ahs, the pauses. Like, I've paid attention to all of the details over time and the repetitions to earn that type of work that I do. And you cannot skip the preparation. Like, it's like in my other video, like, you got to fall in love with the process. Like, fall in love with, what I fell in love with in real estate? I fell in love with the history of scripts and where they came from. Learning about Floyd Wickman, my coach, Bob Leffler, how he learned scripts from Floyd Wickman, who then Bob Leffler taught me scripts, who now I teach agents all the time about how to talk to people. And I'm like, look, this isn't, physics here. This is like, I fell in love with the structure, with the objection handling, of the presentation, of the NLP, of the words we say, the way we look, the way we smile in conversations, the way we stand, we open our diaphragm, the way we mirror people and match them. Like, Those things matter. Fall in love with the art of what you're doing. And if you fall in love with the art and the process of what you're doing, it's hard to not be successful at it, in my opinion. And of course, everyone has their own definition of success, but my definition of success is falling in love with that and being able to do it time and time again, and just watch the results take care of themselves, because I'm willing to do the work. And once the fundamentals are developed, you have to stop mentally micromanaging every single conversation. Like, you are going to be the world's worst critic to yourself. At some point, you got to let go of that. You just have to. You've got to let go of it and just understand, I screwed that conversation up. Like, oh, well, don't micromanage it. Let it go. Go to the next one. Some will, some won't. So what? That should probably be the title of this video. Focus on curiosity, listening, being of service, and the next right action. Like, you got to understand like the rhythm and the flow of conversations and how they need to happen, whether that's with a new lead, a current client, a listing, a buyer presentation, all those things, talking to an agent, how to handle negotiations. Like, you've got to focus yourself on the right action, but you've got to be curious in the moment. And like, one of the best things I could tell you is stay curious long enough with somebody, and they will tell you exactly what they want you to tell them. They will tell you exactly what they want you to tell you. Like, you don't need, like, you do need to read scripts, but like, if you just stay curious long enough and you've learned the scripted questions and what to ask, it usually takes care of itself and you become of greater service. And like, if you just commit to doing that, kind of faking it till you make it and watch the result, then you realize that that little bit of work and that effort, that win you just got, it's like contagious. And then you're like, I just want to go back in the box, right? And you got to operate from abundance. I talked about this a little bit earlier, but one client's decision does not determine your worth or your career. It doesn't. You have to operate from abundance, and you have to love on everybody, whether they like you or not. Your opinion doesn't matter. Your opinion should be this: I do this job to take care of whatever my goal is, to take care of the people around me, to create the life that I want to create. And I'm going to operate from abundance because I'm going to do it so much they can't ignore me. They can't ignore me. And that's important. Just don't let anyone determine your worth. Who cares if someone tells you something super negative about what you do? They say, oh, all real estate agents are car salesmen or all this stuff. No, that's not true. You can be someone that goes along a journey. You know, I was listening to an Ed Milet, and he was talking about his career and all the work he's done and the reps he's put in to put himself in the position he's in, to give him the success he's gotten today as a byproduct of falling in love with the work. And like, I loved that. And he said, you know, I didn't know what God's calling for me was. And you may not be religious, and that's fine. But he was like, you know, I always wondered what my greater purpose was. And he said, I became very successful and I bought a house in a really nice neighborhood, and his sister got really sick. I can't remember exactly what it was she had, but she became blind from diabetes. I think she became blind. I can't remember exactly what he called it. And then he was sitting there one day and he realized, he goes, wait a minute. My neighbor is like this renowned eye doctor surgeon. Let me ask him if he can help. And he goes and calls his neighbor. And his neighbor's like, yeah, I think I can help her. And now his sister sees. And now he's got this crazy perspective. Think about this. What if the true purpose wasn't to become super wealthy? What if God had told him 20 years prior, he said, you're going to do all this work because you're going to save your sister's vision, that she will not become blind? I mean, that's powerful. You probably would never have believed it. He probably would have never believed it. And to think about the people that, and the relationships and the impact you can create, you don't know, but what you do know is what you can do in the moment and the repetitions that you can put in. So think about that. I mean, you have to understand that there's a greater purpose for all of us, and it's our job to be diligent in what we're doing and in our God-given talents and what we want to become great at. to eventually see what those seeds have sown in our lives and who they impact. You do not know. You do not know yet. So yes, practice until the fundamentals become part of you. Then enter the conversation and let go of the outcome and trust the work you've already done. So that's today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you will join me on the Discord. Come to the Better Agent. Wait, it's the Better Agent community on Discord. Hope to see you guys there. You can join the other college town agents that are joining the movement in the community. We'd love to pour into you any questions you ask. If you want any other scripts or fun stuff, if you want to learn something, I'm there. All of it's for free. I'm here for you guys. We'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.